Rugby values is a phrase that's used to suggest that rugby has better morals than other sports. But sometimes those values go missing, like when the French Rugby Union destroyed Rugby League with the help of the Nazis. After France were thrown out of the Five Nations in 1931, many French players were lured by the professionalism and spectacle of Rugby League, and the sport boomed. By 1939, the French League had 225 clubs, and France beat England and Wales to win the European Championship, with the French Rugby League team becoming the first French national team in any code of football to beat England on home soil. In the same year, 3 leading rugby union clubs, Narbonne, Carcassonne and Brive, joined Rugby League. However, in 1939, something far greater than rugby happened. After Nazi Germany invaded Poland, the UK and France both declared war on Germany, and World War II began. When France fell to the invading German army in 1940, it was split into occupied France in the north and the pro-Nazi Vichy France in the south, the latter mostly consisting of the rugby heartland. The Vichy Government associated Rugby League with the pre-war government, the United Kingdom, and the famous resistance and Free France leader Charles De Gaulle. The French Rugby Union, whose amateur ethos appealed to the Nazis' view of purity in sport, took advantage of a close relationship with Prime Minister Philippe Pétain and had Rugby League outlawed. Under Nazi order, the French Rugby League immediately lost their stadiums, players, and financial backing, and were labelled as corruptors of the youth, with all assets handed over to the French Rugby Union. This amounted to 2 million francs in 1940, which is worth around $846,000 today, that was never repaid. Although the ban was lifted after the war, Rugby League was not allowed to call itself rugby until 1991, and was called Jeu à 13, Game of 13, referring to the number of players on each side. The game was also effectively banned in schools and was limited to only having 200 semi-professional players due to a gentleman's agreement between the two codes in 1947. Professional rugby league did not return to France until 2006. Only 40,000 people participate in French rugby league today, compared to over 360,000 in rugby union. Without the French Rugby Union's collaboration with the Nazi regime, rugby league could very well be the most dominant code of rugby in France today. The French Rugby Union used one of the most evil and oppressive regimes in European history to better itself, and we will never know the future that rugby league could have had in France. Now, I know out of all the horrific things the Nazis have done, this is fairly low on the list, but I think it's important to remember that rugby values only exist when it suits rugby for them to exist, and when they no longer do, they appear to vanish. Thanks for watching.